In this compose and play assignment, you're going to be composing a melody to a given chord progression. For this example, if you're a trumpet player, if you look at the piano score at the bottom, the piano notes are in concert pitch. So we're in concert E flat, which is going to put the trumpet in the key of F. To help you make that transposition from concert pitch to your pitch, if you'll notice above each of the whole notes, this is what's called an annotation. So to create the melody, you're going to want to use one of the three chord tones. If you click on the annotation, it's going to show you that those three notes on trumpet are going to be F, A, and C. So for the first line, you want to come up here and choose one of those notes. And to start off, we're going to stick just to quarter notes and half notes. Now, on this low C, I'd like for that to be a high C. So I'm going to hold the Command key down on my keyboard and press the up arrow, and it'll shift that C up an octave. Now, for the next measure, the piano is playing a B flat major chord, so you're going to use one of the three notes of the B flat major chord. Again, if you click on the annotation, it'll show you what those transposed pitches are for the trumpet. So for here, you're going to choose between three notes, C, E, and G. So I think I'm going to go with E. I'm going to make that a half note, and then C as a quarter, and then G. For the next measure, it's a C major chord. Click on the annotation. The notes are going to be D, F, and A on the trumpet. So I'm going to choose a D, but I want to shift this down an octave. So again, I'm going to hold my Command key and press the down arrow. I think I'll go back to an A, Command up arrow, and then an F. And the last chord, we're going to finish on an A flat major chord. And for trumpet, those notes are going to be B flat, D, and F. So I'll come back here, go D, F, and I'm going to change that B flat to a half note. So now I've composed a melody over this chord progression. If I click on the first measure, I can now listen to the melody I've composed. Now that you've composed a melody, you can work on practicing playing the melody that you've composed. After you've practiced and you've got it down, you can record yourself and share it with your teacher. Now, for the second phrase, we're going to add what we call non-chord tones. And these are going to be notes that aren't a part of the chord. So the first step is to click on this, go back to the edit. Sorry. We're going to click on this first measure, and then I'm going to hold the Shift key on my keyboard and select the fourth measure to highlight all four measures. I'm now going to hold the Command key and type the letter C to copy, Command C. Then I'm going to highlight the fifth measure, press the Command button and the letter V as in victory to paste. So now I have the original melody that I composed. But now I'm going to come put notes in between these chord tones to make the melody a little more interesting. If I start here and change my C to an eighth note, then I can add a note in between. Then I'll change my A and add a G. I think I'll leave that a quarter note. And then the C, I'll change that to an eighth note and add a D leading up to the E. So now in this next measure, I think I'll change that E to a quarter note and add a D in. And then the C, I'm going to change to an eighth note And since I can't cover that gap between C and G in one step, I think I'm actually going to jump down to an F, Command down arrow to low F to end up on a G. And then moving into the third measure, again, I'll change that to an eighth note. And then I'm going to go up to a B, down to the D, change that to an eighth. And I think I'll go back up to that high B. I'm going to leave that quarter note where it is. I'm going to change this to an eighth note and add an E, which will get me back to that D. Change that to an eighth, add an E, change my F, and then I think I'll add a C. And Command up arrow. So now I've created a second melody that has more rhythmic movement with the eighth notes, and I'm using chord tones, or notes that are not a part of the chord. And it sounds like this. Kind of nice. So again, you can practice playing the melody that you've composed, or maybe consider sharing it with a friend and let them practice your melody and have them record it. And then you're going to submit your assignment and your recording to your teacher according to the protocol that y'all have for turning in assignments. When you are ready to record, if you've not done that before, you just want to start by clicking the first measure. And then if you return to the edit window, you're going to see a record button. And when you click and record, it's going to give you the option to start. You'll get a 2-measure count in, and then you'll play the melody, and it'll record you performing your melody on top of what you've notated here. If you don't like the recording you've made, you have the option to delete that recording and try it again. So I hope you enjoyed this assignment, and I would encourage you that as you do it, come up with your own choices of the notes that you use, and not try to just copy the example that I've had here. Have fun composing.